What's up, everybody? I'm back with another roller coaster review, and we're continuing with the Hersheypark stuff today. And I am doing Fahrenheit, an Intimin looping coaster. I don't know if I should call it like an Intimin Blitz or whatever. I don't know what type exactly that it is, but it's a release. I think it was in 2008 is when Fahrenheit came out. So it's been around for quite a while, and it's a pretty big staple of the park. And I was finally able to get a ride in on it, just one. But I've got a lot of thoughts on it, so let's jump right into the review, shall we? First off, one of this ride's most main defining features is its vertical lift. Only one other kind of coaster that I've seen does this, and that is, well, there's actually a few, never mind. My brother rode Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket, which does the same thing. I didn't ride that when we were there, though, sadly. But I rode, but like the vertical lift on this thing is insane because I've never run, because like it's the first time I've ever had that, and it just goes so high up, like and it's a slow lift hill too. So it's cool because you get to do, because how like you're pressed up against the seat and you're just going straight up into the sky, and it's so cool. I think there was a lot of wasted potential, though, for a really good drop. This ride's drop is not bad, but it is definitely a weaker drop than it would imply with the vertical lift, because you go so slow that there's really no chance to catch any air off the drop. And with the small trains, even if you're in the back, you're not really going to catch anything. A lift hill kind of similar to the one they have on Sky Rush, maybe not that fast, but that one, that speed would have been cool, but they wouldn't even needed to do that. Just something moderately quicker would have been enough to have a better airtime on the drop, and maybe even done a little bit more with a beyond vertical drop sort of situation. But still a cool lift hill regardless. I sad to say this, but I was feeling this ride was not completely smooth. This ride was a little rough, I'll be honest. I was definitely feeling it. Definitely had a rattle or vibration to it, and this was consistent throughout the ride. Some people say it only applies in certain sections. Some parts are smooth, some parts are not as smooth. I was feeling the vibration throughout the entire ride, and but it didn't take away from the experience. I still was able to thoroughly enjoy my experience on this ride, but it definitely was noticeable. But it wasn't a big deal. I didn't get any like lasting head pain or any pain at all really from the ride. But I did notice it was definitely noticeable, which is kind of sad. But what are you gonna do? And then this ride's layout, though, is just very, very unique. I have never seen anything like it, especially from an Intimin coaster. I mean, you have Stormrunner, which is very, very unique too, and the Fahrenheit is just so cool with how you just get so many elements from Intimin that they really don't do that much, at least in the United States. So that's cool to experience. Like there's a Cobra roll. Like what other Intimin has a Cobra roll? The vertical lift hill, and just a lot of other cool like elements. And it's a pretty decently long ride experience too. And it allows for some really, really good ride elements that I think really keeps Fahrenheit fresh and a good experience over a lot of other coasters that you could find both at Hersheypark and across the country. And I think I think I'll say that's a pretty big part as to why like coaster enthusiasts want to come to Hersheypark, because now that they have such cool ride layouts, and Fahrenheit's a prime example of that. So that was really, really cool. And it was a fun layout, lots of cool elements, and a lot of cool stuff to enjoy. The Cobra roll again was great. A lot of the other inversions were really good too. Didn't really get any semblance, not really a extraordinary amount of airtime on this ride, but definitely, but it wasn't like bad or anything. It's not really its main element here. So I will also point out this ride is really, really good for picture taking. One of the better ones in the park. It's on this nice plot of land, and you can easily take pictures both in the line. This was one of the longer lines we waited for in the park on our day here. And that's saying something, because this was I think the second longest line we waited in. It was only like a 20-minute wait. So that's really, really good. Just a testament to how good the lines were while we were there at Hersheypark. I haven't done the coaster that had the longest line while we were there yet. Stay tuned for that one. But it was cool to ride this ride. And it was nice to have some pictures and stuff. Nice change of pace from some of the other coasters that we stumbled upon while we were at Hersheypark. So that's going to do it for this review, though. My final score for Fahrenheit, I liked it. It was an overall very positive experience, just outside of the little rattle, but not like a horrible, not like a horrible like takeaway from it, So my final score for Fahrenheit, probably gonna have to give it a 9 out of 10. Well, I'll probably give it an 8. I was hoping for a little more with the drop and with the vertical live tail and the drop, as well. It was a little underwhelming, but the layout is really unique. It's very picturesque, and it just gives a really overall fun ride experience. So this is definitely a must if you visit Hersheypark. So make sure to get on it if you can. So anyways, that's going to do it for this coaster review and this video. So what are your thoughts on Fahrenheit? You got any? Have you been to Hersheypark and ridden Fahrenheit? I'd love to know your thoughts about it in the comments section down below. And stay tuned for other much more amazing content, including more coaster reviews. I have 3 left to do from Hersheypark, so that's really, really exciting. So stay tuned for those and other awesome stuff. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Goodbye.